Okay, hello everybody. This is Tom and Kieran from Team Exalted, and we're going to have a look through the 6 decks for the matches today between VinceT UK and Johnlaeng. We don't know at this point which of the 6 decks have been banned. So we'll start with the 3 from Vince, and the first one up is, I know, one of Vince's favourites, the Lord of Hyperberg. And we've got a Sins deck here.
Straight away, you're spotting the Infernuses in there as well, which is always fun. The houses are good. I mean, you got Saurian and Logo like up there with the Dis as well.
Yeah, and the Ludos as well. Always useful to have in Saurian. Fair bit of control in here on Amber control. Like you say with the Infernuses, the City State interest, house to increase key cost. Very nice. The Animator is a great form of artifact control as well. And you can do the nice little trick where you animate your own artifact and capture amber onto it, and then that amber is gone, it's never coming back. He's got the good sins, I think. Gluttony, greed being very good for extra card draw, pride for the wards, wrath for the taunt that you need. It looks like a very good deck.
Damage and control, so you got the pain reactions and you got standardized testing for trying to help clear the board if anything comes up on the other side.
Yeah, it's got, I mean, it looks great. Fair amount of amber generation, good amber control, good creature control. Once you've got that animator down, you've got good artifact hate, as long as your opponent doesn't have any to kill it. I think the Lord of Hyperberg is looking very good, and quite possibly a good ban target. Let's switch to the next deck. This is a very well-known deck. I think you'll have seen Sasha before. I believe this is a Mavericks, Manchester Mavericks deck. And this is the Ganganaut Jenka monstrosity that came second in the UK Grand Champs.
Wow, this one's a beast of a deck.
Yeah, it really is. Double Martian Generosity as well. Disgusting. With a Proliferator to bring back whatever you want. Key Abduction.
Yeah, you just sort of look at it and go, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do against this.
And the Grunt Buggy as well. I mean, whatever cards you end up in your hand with this deck, it looks like you're going to have something to do. Decent board control as well. Yeah, looks fantastic. Okay, let's switch to the next. And this is Abra. This isn't one I've seen before, but straight away that Dis suite jumps out at me.
Control the weak, always good. Tendrils of Pain, 3 fates, nice damage. The Arise is really good for getting things like the Drumble and Dust Imps back out. Ember Imp as well is always nice. I quite like the Shadows, to be honest, because you got a few Nerve Blasts, Miasma, Bait and Switch, and just a lot of nice cards that deal with either getting rid of little creatures or slowing the opponent down.
Yeah, again, great amber generation on it. The amber control looks fantastic. Double doorstep is disgusting, and the miasma as well. And then a whole bunch of amber control in shadows. Bait and switch.
Sanctum as well.
Yeah. And good creature control, as you say. The Arise, fantastic, because you could bring back all of your Sanctum and all of your Dis or all of your shadows in a single turn. If you've got both of those in hand, that would be devastating, I would think. Okay, let's have a look at John's deck. First up, we've got Griffon. And again, the Saurian suite looks good. Those tributes look good, but there's no way to run shenanigans with them with no Exile or 6 Emperor or any of the upgrades. But still great for taking off a key. Always love to see Dysania in this meta as well.
I'm quite a fan of the Ritual Gallams.
Yeah.
They're always super useful. Be interesting to see if he gets that off.
Yeah, stacks of amber control and archiving as well. Like you say with the Data Forge, with the Millie and the Edi and the Wormhole Technician, you can stack your own archive to then be able to lift it for the Data Forge.
It's actually got a lot of steel in this one for like the Cutthroat Research, 2 Ronnies. You got hit and run with it as well.
Anti-MTP.
Yeah.
Scale and amber control is always useful in this meta. This looks very strong.
Yeah.
Okay, the
It's gonna be a
next
lot of
one is I think it's Chinese. I'm not sure, but it's Sister of Good Luck. Let's just call it Sister. Not so great on the amber control on this one with just the Infernus, Umber Fiend, couple of Drekkers. Drekker, an interesting card, doesn't often live for very long, but it is also a giant creature deck, an Ultra Graviton deck, which in my view is the best of the giant creatures.
Dark Harbinger as well.
Yeah, with plenty of actions there in Untamed as well. And a Ghost Hawk. Always love to see a Ghost Hawk.
They're great. They're great all the time. As long as you can, most of the time I get to play Ghost Hawk and everything just happens to disappear the turn before. But
good creature control again as well. I suspect we're going to see lots of board wipes going on. I tell you what else sticks out to me in this deck. Actually, there are 6 draw enhancements in it, and there are 2 Chronos in Logos. If you can get both them on the board and get some of your card draw going, that could be disgusting. Yeah, let's have a look at the next one. And this is Aslan the Sov Architect.
this one's got a lot of expected ember.
Yeah, it really has. 17 pips.
Oh,
37 expended. Double brig with memory chip, sloppy lab work to get it all archived away and ready to go. Yeah, the Ortanus can be fun.
Too much to protect as well, so if you go high and it'll get stolen, you can just get it back.
I think it's very interesting to see which of these 3 these 2 opponents are going to ban, because this one also looks very, very strong to me. Hello everyone, so this is Tom from Team Exalted, and we have with us Vince and John. Vince from the Manchester Mavericks and John from the Hamburg Atlanteans, and we're going to have a little discussion about deck banning. Let's go to you first, John, and we'll run through Vince's decks, and you can give us your thoughts and why you chose to ban what you did.
As I said in our testing, I clearly had to ban Sasha, this double combo AOA deck, and if I could play my Eaton's Jar China deck, I maybe would have tried, but I expected Vince to ban mine, and so it was clearly to ban Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha's a very strong deck. I think it belongs to Matt Hill, doesn't it, Vince?
It does. It belongs to Matt, one of the other Manchester Mavericks. I think its best performance has been it very narrowly lost out and placed second place in the UK Grand Championships. Pretty much when we do Triad, the person in the Mavericks who has that deck knows full well it's going to get banned. Very few people let us play Sasha.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. It looks pretty oppressive. And I guess in terms of SAS, is it the highest AOA deck in SAS?
I think it was for a time. It no longer is. I think it's now second. And I think that's partly reflecting a change in the meta that's occurred with Worlds Collide and Mass Mutation that actually hasn't been in Sasha's favour. There's been a few games on Keyforge Premier League where I've played against Matt when he's been playing this, and I've beaten it 2-1 with Hyperberg because Sasha hates Infernus.
Yeah, I bet it does. I mean, there's a couple of key pieces in there that if you can take them away. So I remember watching Matt play this at the UKGC, and he'll often get one of the generosities out earlier just to get some value. You do that against Infernus, it's gone.
So yeah, wasn't surprised that John banned that at all.
No, exactly. Right, let's move on and have a look at John's decks and get your thoughts, Vince. So Griffon is the one we saw John actually play for both of those matches. Actually looks like a very, very good deck. This is the Sister of Good Luck. What are your thoughts on this one, Vince? What was guiding you to strike it out?
Oh, pretty much the same sort of decisions as John made. In the knowing that he's probably going to ban Sasha, but you never know your luck, they might not. If they don't ban Sasha, then you've got to ban the Jar deck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your combos just don't work. But also tied into that sort of thinking was knowing what my other two decks are. Neither of them have a very good history versus Graviton. Certainly, they're both relying on some very, one or two very key cards to deal with a Gravitron problem. And if you don't see them by the time Graviton turns up,
Yeah, looking at these beforehand, it's. I mean, the Untamed looks great as well with that Harbinger. And I've got to ask John, because I've not looked at the image actually, where are those draw pips and how often do you get both those Cronuses out with your draw cards coming into play?
The Cronuses are mostly just a bait. It's kind of a control the weak, because all the draw pips are in Untamed, I think. And what he really shines is that you try to get out Graviton, not for the creature, but for the cards in the archive, and then you just play Deso Untamed.
Yeah.
Best games would like be 2 turns Logos and then 3 turns Dis or Untamed. Especially if you only got the Harbinger, then you can clear the board with Savage Clash, your Harbinger survives, and then you play all these mutations, draw a card, mutation, draw a card, Rapid Evolution, draw a card, and your board is full and you have maybe 6, 7, 8 Ember.
Yep. It looks pretty oppressive, so personally I can understand why you chose to strike that one out, Vince.
So the other choice was possibly to ban the, I think it was the AOA Brig deck. That is what's my Kota deck, Ozbilla, can deal with that fine. Ozbilla will stop you forging.
Yeah.
Berg just can't. Hyperberg would probably have just flat lost to that deck.
Yeah, the double brig looks great, and all the archive you've got there in Logos as well to set it up. And it was good today to see TMTP getting some play out as well, to be honest, because I think that level of scaling amber control that's also steel is just really powerful in the current meta.
Especially seeing as they didn't put much scaling into Mass Mutation. Yeah, it's always been a good card. You've always kind of got to play around it. I got, in the first deck, I had the doorstep as a response to it, and as you always try and do, you try and hold the doorstep until the TMTP's been done. And I think I just got lucky with Hyperberg. I could play around it enough that it was never going to be great value for John.
Yeah, we did wonder how you were going to respond to that, so it was great play. And
Faust and Cross My Fingers was a...
Hello everyone, this is Tom from Team Exalted, and I have again with me today Kieran. Say hello, Kieran.
Hello.
And so today we've got VinceT versus Johnlaeng. Vince has banned the Sister of Good Luck, the Chinese deck that John has, and John has banned Sasha. Okay, let's get to it. This is going to be an interesting first game. We've got Abra versus Griffone. Both of these are very interesting decks, very strong decks. And let's get this game underway. Very interesting decisions on the bannings, and hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of an interview with the two players afterwards that we'll put out with the YouTube drop on their thoughts around the deck banning. And it looks like Vince is going first. Vince on the top, John on the bottom. John taking a mulligan there. I'll say. So Vince starting out with this and popping out a dust imp. It's a great start. And John coming back very quickly with a Dysania and a Wormhole Technician.
This Shadows and Sanctum versus Logo Shadows and Saurian.
Yeah. No archive in Vince's deck, so that Dysania coming out straight away, not a surprise there. It's just a body on the board in this match. And Vince having
I think when you've got a card like Dysania in hand, you want to just play it out quickly anyway. Like from the start of the game, you can always try and cycle back through to hit it again.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I really do. If you've not got a way to archive it. Yeah, so we see Vince fighting the Dust Imp into the Wormhole Technician to get some Amber, and then a Tendrils of Pain. And a Control the Weak.
4 Amber.
What's he going to CTW John into? He's put him into Logos. Let's see how good of a decision that was. It's not a bad choice. You would assume that he'd played out all his Logos cards, so he's either drawn into 2, and we'll probably see a Reap and then a couple of Logos cards here or not. And it was straight into Logos, in fact, so it went so fast. Dysania Reap move.
Yeah. That was a very good Control the Weak.
Yep.
Essentially a free turn.
And Vince straight into Shadows with a Nerve Blast and then a Miasma to get him onto check. That Dysania looking very poorly there at the moment, and a Relentless Whispers to kill it to get Vince to 7. Johnny's on 0. Very fast start.
Straight into check with the first key. The Control of the Weak worked out perfectly because where you could only reap with 1 creature, it set up straight away for the Nerve Blast to steal 1 and deal 2 damage.
John has plenty of answers though, quite possibly. He's got a lot of control and steal himself. It's good to have a game this time, unlike the last one. It's not a criticism of the players, but it was a very fast game and very hard to commentate going at that pace, whereas at least here we have the chaps taking a bit of time to think. So John playing out a Meteor for Amber, Gallum to take Vince off check, threatening Pterodactyl, and then a Tribute to really pull him off check.
Like you said, plenty of things to deal with it and keep it down.
Yeah. Don't expect to see an Exalt and a second run of the Tribute here, to be honest, because John doesn't have any way of taking advantage of that.
No, it looks like it was just the one.
Yeah.
The keys to this turn costing 9.
Let's see what we've got from Vince here. Into Sanctum. And I feel great to get a bit of taunt out.
Blinding Light. Stunning the Saurians.
That Pterodactyl already stunned. And Vince back on check. Shadows from John here. Ronnie to steal 2. Yeah, just a quick Shadows turn to take Vince off check here. Let's see how Vince responds. It's interesting. You've got to wonder if John being forced basically into stopping Vince forging a key rather than necessarily progressing his own game plan.
He's slowly building up his board though, so once he starts getting some creatures down, it'll give him some more options. But
this is very true.
At the same time, it's tough to decide whether or not you try and keep the opponent off the key, because once you get one, it can be easy to start ramping up and get the others.
Shift that logo out of the way so that when I pop the Archon up, people can see it. There we go.
Just having a bit of a think at the moment. Into Dis.
Gonguzel.
Gonguzel.
Yeah, gets rid of that Vinder. Rumble. And that's it. Straight out of Dis and passes over to John, but on check again.
Vince has been getting quite a lot of amber just from playing the guards out, which is it's just great being able to do that. It's sort of, you're able to deal with stuff and just get closer to your key all the time.
Yeah, this is very true. So we've got a Logos turn here from John. Babbling Bibliophile. Love that card if it manages to survive. An Academy training onto the Ronnie wrist clocks. You get a reap out of him. Data Forge for Amber. And a Sanitation Engineer coming down, and the turn passing to Vince, who is going to forge that all-important first key. Now, can Vince do anything about this board state? A 3 Fates might be useful here. Although it would actually put John onto the key if he does that.
I think he's still got a couple of options in shadows for dealing damage.
Yes.
Which help at least a few of them, like the Poison Wave. Would help against at least a few of those.
Yeah. The nice little squishy bodies of the shadows and Logos creatures are very susceptible to that. But we're seeing a Sanctum turn. Sigil. And I feel killing that Bibliophile, you can get drowned in card advantage.
Yeah, definitely worth doing.
Passing over to John. Let's see how he's going to respond here.
So we've now got Vince has forged a key, and John's currently on 4 amber.
John again having a good think. He's got an interesting board state with that Ronnie being of every house.
At some point he's going to be wanting to play Saurian. If he can get the stuns off, then it opens up quite a bit for him, I reckon. Although the Pterodactyl only deals 4 when fighting, but it has got the deal 4 to the neighbours as well, which...
Yeah, it's a great effect, especially if you fight into something elusive, even just to pop its neighbours off.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so John going into Logos. Reaping straight away with Ronnie to draw. Maybe he's digging for something. Hologrammophone comes down. Pushing John to check. And now more to think about. It's interesting, he doesn't have enough power on the board in Logos to take out that Anaphil and get that amber off him.
That's right, it's like saving it for later.
Yeah, I view it that way as well. Captured amber is in the bank usually. Unless you get run into Worlds Collide, Saurian nonsense. But okay, so we see the reaps from the Millie and the Engineer, and discarding Axiom of Grisk. Passing the turnover in check on 8. Let's have a look what Vince has already used here.
It was the Sanitation Engineer that let me discard the Axiom.
Yeah. Okay, so Vince has gone into Dis. wonder if we see a reap from the Drumble here, or does he use it to take out that Ronnie? Because That Ronnie is an amber every turn for John.
And a card.
And a card. Yes, we do see that. What else does he have in Dees that he has left? He could nick one with a Shula.
Yeah, we're probably seeing John getting a key.
Could he arise that Drumble?
Certainly could, yeah, if he's got it in hand.
Stick it on the other side of that Anaphiel. That would certainly take John off check.
Ooh.
Sacking the sigil.
Sacrificing. Yep.
And here comes the Arise as well.
So you can use friendly Sanctum Breaches.
So here comes the Drumble and a Dust Imp for some more amber here for Vince. And then we're going to see these Sanctum boys do something. Maybe take out that Retta. Yeah, reap from the Sequis to catch a one. Drumble taking John down to 0 amber.
Now protected by the Anaphiel with the taunt. Dustin coming back out for more amber options and the Succubus.
Yeah, that can be quite frustrating as well. The Axiom is gone, but he still has a fair amount of direct damage lying around in different houses.
Yeah, there's definitely a few things.
And the Ember Imp.
He's got a couple of targets to aim for now.
And takes out the Dr. Millie with the Anaphiel. So, John presented with a bit of a decision here because if he needs to get rid of some of this stuff, definitely the Ember Imp for sure. And on board, the only way he has to do that is to go into Logos. But he's gone into Shadows. Yeah, a Mug would get rid of it. Or an Oubliette as well. Oubliette on the Dust Imp. Here we go. Hit and run on the Ember
You might
Imp.
want to Oubliette the Drumble just to stop it from capturing everything.
Yeah, maybe. So he mugged the Drumble. And he's back up to
so
check.
Hit and run on the Ember Imp to kill that.
Yeah.
And then, so 2 of them dealt with. It's quite good.
Yeah.
He's got his Amber back, so he's back up to 8.
And those captured Amber on Vince's side really kind of pinning at that 3 fates to his hand. It's not a playable card at this point. And he could choose to take out the Sanitation Engineer rather than his own Sequis, but he's still handing 2 Amber to his opponent.
Yeah, it's 2 for 2. It's whether or not you decide to give up the key, but again, he might have other options for trying to keep it balanced out. He has got the Doorstep to Heavens.
Yeah, only 3 Shadows cards played out here. 1 Nerve Blast, 1 Relentless Whispers. The Miasma has gone. So he still has Bait and Switch, another Nerve Blast. Bait and Switch nowhere near as powerful as it used to be.
Poison Wave.
Fantastic. Gets himself 2 Amber, gets himself to check with a Ghostly Hand. Passes the turn, says you can have a key. What are you going to do about this?
And
John, quick response into
nice
Saurian.
Amber. Poison Wave took out the Dust Imp as well, which gave him another 2.
Yep. Oh, we see a Rex coming down. No Spiral to go with it in John's deck, unfortunately. And another Retta. And a Shrix, which is Exalting. Now this is an interesting developing board state here. Because even without the spiral, if that Cincinnatus survives, it can still fight something like the succubus and ready everything else again. So it's going to be interesting to see how Vince responds to this now. This is where you could be into the Three Fates territory.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That would be worth it, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's on 7 Ember anyway. So if you're giving away a couple of Ember, you're still getting yourself a good advantage.
Succubus into the Gallum, 3 Fates. Really removes the threat on that board. It's a question if he has it in hand or maybe has a better play even.
Having a think here. It's a bit tricky because if he's got the Sanctum like doorsteps in his hands, he doesn't really want to play them at this point. So you got to try and think about.
Agreed. Again, they're a bit pinned to your hand at this point. But he goes into Sanctum. Take hostages.
Yep. So there goes the Rita.
Yeah, not a surprise to see that go. But what are we going to see here? Anafeel into the Shrix. Cleansing Wave. Oh, what a burst.
Very nice.
It is very nice. Now, where does John go here? There's a lot to be had from having that pterodactyl fight into, well, maybe hanging out the Anafeel, getting 3 amber back, and then you can
5 amber gained from the cleansing wave. 14 amber.
Yeah, it's a great position. Would rather be ahead on amber, but don't forget, John has that TMTP in there, and that's not been played yet. John having a long think here about where he's going to go. What have we seen from John? Oh, here we go. Yeah, TMTP.
Followed by a mug, gaining another amber.
And a Dusk Runner on the pterodactyl, but that does give Vince his second key. But puts John in a position to get his second key and be really ahead on amber. It's a big swing from that TMTP. Oh, and the doorstep comes down. Yeah, the playing the TMTP really opened the door to that. Tish.
Yeah, you're sort of stuck in a situation though where if you think it's coming, you're gonna have to kind of get it out of the hand anyway.
Very true. And so a Reap from Anafeel. A Reap from Sequis. Does he have any more Sanctum in hand, or is that it? Nope, that's it.
If he can destroy the 2 Sanctum creatures, he'll get a lot back for that.
Yeah, he will. You've got to wonder if Vince has got the other doorstep in hand, though, right? Because you can imagine a situation where John's careful here, expecting that maybe goes to 6 only. But then Vince can just kill one of his own creatures in the wall of Saurian and then doorstep again to cut John back down.
Very true, yeah.
Interesting to see what happens here. This is where it's hard, where you can't see what's in the player's hands.
just considering options.
Again, having a look at his discard. It's an even spread, really, of cards played. It's not standing out as anything leading you to believe he's got a clutch full of one house or anything. A lot to think about here.
Getting into Saurian.
Yeah, you could almost reap with the pterodactyl, right? Fight the Cincinnatus into the anaphil. Yeah, there you go, and ready the pterodactyl. But not choosing to exalt the Cincinnatus there.
It does get him some of his amber back, so he got 3 back from the champion, so he's up to 9 amber on the end of turn.
Yep, definitely ready there for the second key. Let's see what Vince has to say about that.
It's a decent choice because, rather than taking out both creatures in one turn, you take out the one, then you've still got some amber left on the field in case you do get the doorstep to heaven.
Yeah, that's true. It's in the bank there on Sequis, isn't it? And Vince has gone into Dis here. Oh, are we going to see 3 Fates, maybe? If he was going to do that, he'd have done it before the Schuler, I suspect. Oh. Interesting. Because now the Schuler's going to go.
It's not necessarily an issue for the Arise.
Oh, this is very true. Oh, very true. Beautiful. Because that Drumble is going to come down and nick everything. Dust Imp, the Ember Imp. Oh, this is going to create a horrible board state for John to have to deal with.
Yeah, and see, you get to play the Schuler again, so you get an extra steal.
Yeah, and his only mass wipe is the Axiom and the Meteor, but that's not really going to do anything.
Well, and the Axiom doesn't destroy the creatures with amber on, right?
No, exactly, and it's in the discard anyway.
Oh, and he's got Succubus down with its effect going, Amber Imp down as well to limit cards that can be played at the moment. Vince finishing with 7 amber in his turn.
Very tough position here for John. Going into Saurian. The Retta comes down. There are 2 of them in John's deck. It seems like we've seen it a hell of a lot today.
We've got Phalanx Strike, which is
dealing with that Ember Imp.
Yep, allowing him to play more cards for the turn. We're going to see surely we're going to see a Exalt to try and kill small things. Probably the Drumble you want to get rid of, right?
Yeah, he's done that. Drumble has gone as well. You've disconnected, I think.
Yeah. That would explain it.
And so then John on 8 amber passing over turn to Vince, who's on 7 with key cost at 9. Oh, I wonder what he's got in hand here. You could almost be tempted by a dis turn, just take out that Retta, smash that Dust Imp to get the extra 2. And Reap, get himself to 10 amber. Vince always very considered in what he's doing, so taking his time to figure out the right line, I guess, here. Very interesting. And you appear to be back, Kieran?
Yeah.
What have we got here? Now look, there are only 5 Shadows cards in Vince's discard. And yes, there we go. Going into Shadows, bait and switch. Nerve Blast for another one.
Love that move.
Yeah.
Nerve Blast kills that Imp.
Yeah, fantastic. Going to
Oh,
11.
Amber.
We've not seen the E-Die from John yet, but I'm not sure if that's going to do enough here. And discarding the Evasion Sigil. Such an interesting card to have to play around that one. Vince making the determination it's simply not worth that Amber Pip.
So John has got his second key.
Yeah, and reaping with the Gallum. Oh, and tributing. Is he going to double tribute? Yes, he is. Oh, but is this feels like just kicking the can down the road at this point. And Vince into Sanctum. Charge. Great stuff. So a Raiding Knight is going to do 2 damage to maybe the Engineer. If you get that 6 Amber back, that Retagallum doesn't matter.
We've got 2 damage coming onto the Sanitation Engineer.
Yeah.
One
He can
more
take it
to-
out now with the Sequus if he needs to. Oh, here's a Jehu. Gets rid of the Engineer. Now in a position to put the Sequus into the Gallum to get himself on 15 Amber. I'm not sure that John has an answer for this at this point. We've seen almost everything gone. And there we go. Vince takes down game 1. We'll run into a quick break and then we'll be back with the second match. Well, everyone, so we're back with game 2. Vince taking down game 1. John electing to go first. John will stay on Griffon. And Vince is moving to Hyperberg. And the two having a laugh here because they managed to get the first player right the first time they went in. So Hyperberg, a very interesting deck. 4 Sins, possibly the 4 best Sins in here. The Disc Suite just looks disgusting, to be honest, in this. Okay, here we go. Getting underway. Players deciding about mulligans. Vince has mulliganed. And John also mulliganed, goes into Logos and pops out that hologramophone.
Straight down, 1 Ember. Not bad.
The only artifact control that Vince has in here is going to be that animator, which would require him to bring his opponent's artifacts onto the battlefield and then have something to fight into it to get rid of it. So that's going to be interesting. Vince having a think about what to do here. Now, usually when I mulligan, it's because I've got 3 or so cards that I really don't want in my starting hand, and almost every time I mulligan it seems like I end up with at least 2 of those 3 cards back in my starting hand. So here we go with VinceT Saurian and a Monument, and that's it. Straight over to John, who's into logos very quickly. Titan Guardian. Has he got something to put either side of it? No. So he's warding the Technician. Opportunities for Vince here to get rid of that Guardian without John getting the benefit of the card draw. Do like Titan Guardian.
Extra draw is so just beneficial overall. It's just, and that thing's got a lot of threat, because as soon as you get that card down on the other side, it's like, yeah, you really got to consider drawing it to get to the other things.
Oh, there we go.
Standardized testing.
Yeah, it's a great way to get rid of it.
Well.
I mean, logos having a taunt on a card anyway was a bit odd when this came out, but giving it the draw as well just makes it so much more powerful. And so Vince popping down a daughter here, and the damage pip hitting that Wormhole Technician, and then a Positron Bolt taking out that Technician. And then an Eclectic Inquiry. So Vince passing the turn on 2 Amber, control of the board, and a daughter on the board. See how John can respond here. Again, we saw that last game with Griffon that if John can get a clutch of Saurian creatures, he can really do a lot of damage. Oh, but the Dysania getting value here for John. Destroying Vince's archive, getting the Amber, and then warding that Dysania. And Vince into Saurian. There's a Hedonistic Intent. It's really quite symmetrical. Oh, and then a Strix to steal one. Already a lot of Amber on the creatures here, a lot of Exalt. And then the Primus to remove it and put it on the daughter. Oh, and then a Humble. That's a great sequence of play and a great sequence of cards to end up with for Vince.
Very nice. So Vince is currently on 5 Amber, John on 3.
Yeah, and the Hawk dealing with that Primus.
That's a great card.
Yeah.
Destroy an artifact if you do gain 1.
Double Mug coming down there, and then a Skeleton Key. John on check and passes the turn. It looks like maybe John's deck is firing properly for him this time. Vince going into Saurian again. Octavia, a Ludo, which now means he can steal and exalt that Strix. Take John off check, put himself on check. Oof, and then a CSI as well. Passes the turn over to John. John not having had a Saurian turn yet, you've got to wonder if there's one coming soon.
Taking away the power of that Axiom again, all the captured Amber. And now with the Ludo down, you've got to start focusing, because you don't want to lose that preferably.
It's a little
captured Amber.
Little pop up on the stream there for the TCO guys. Safari seems to think that this TCO tab is using quite a lot of memory. And John into Shadows. What will we see here? A Whisper. Interesting card, Whisper. Losing an amber to destroy a creature can be very useful. An oubliette to purge the Shrix. Skeleton key to capture. Still leaving Vince with a key though. Again, Vince managing to push to that important first key and having tempo. Okay, Vince into Logos. Out comes an engineer. And pops a damage on the Dysania. Dinobot is coming. Here it is. Will he choose to exalt? Yes. And he's going to pop. Yeah, get rid of that Whisper. Explains why he didn't put the damage pip.
Increasing key costs as well.
Yeah, and it explains why he didn't put the damage pip on the Whisper. Interesting for John here then. Vince not pushing his position on Amber too much there. See if John can take advantage of the situation somehow. Again, having a nice long think about it. Still haven't seen him go into Saurian either. Oh, but into Logos, Academy training on the Dysania. Reap, draw, ward. Seems like a slow turn. Maybe he was hoping for something with that card draw on the Dysania. And so back over to Vince. Vince, on the other hand, hasn't played a dis turn yet. Maybe... Oh, and here it comes. Just wondering, maybe he was saving things up for effect. Oh, here comes the Infernus. What are we going to Infernus here? Hock and a Mug, maybe?
Ooh, Infernus has got an extra draw on it as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Disgusting. Hock and a Mug. Gone forever. Oh, and an Obsidian Forge coming down. Maleficom. And another damage pip to get rid of the ward on that Dysania.
Some very nice enhancements.
Yeah. And then passing the turn. So Vince's Delta on board here. Whatever house he goes into, he's got 2 Amber on board right now. Has John finally drawn into that Saurian nonsense that he needs to deal with this as he chooses Saurian? Oh, and the Rex coming down. And so we see Tribute, Phalanx Strike, repeated as well. To get rid of that, well, almost get rid of that Ludo, but not quite. Interesting.
Needs 1 more damage.
Yeah, and hasn't got it. So what is Vince going to do here?
John's on 5 Amber, Vince on 0 with 1 key. Keys costing 7 at the moment.
Yeah. And 3 Amber looking quite tasty over on John's side of the board. Although that Cincinnatus is a big boy with that armour. Not sure how or if you'd want to take it down. Standardized testing has already gone. Yeah, not sure. He's got another Infernus in there as well. Has he got any way to recur it? No, once it's gone until he redraws.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be mostly trying to get through the deck. Although I guess if you get the get the sins out, then you can start drawing quickly.
He's either got a complicated play to turn out here, or he's got a decision to make. And here we go into Logos. Dinobot reaping and discarding a Primus. Draw a card. Maybe digging for something. Engineer taking out the Dysania, getting him another Amber. Here comes the Animator.
And Botbukton.
Getting quite wide here. Quite wide. So Vince passes over to John. John on 5 Amber. And it's straight into Shadows. And yes. Ronnie coming down. The speed with which he made that decision tells you I think he was ready to do this play straight away. Hit and run. Get rid of the Ludo, and then I guess Ronnie coming down again. Yep. Steal another one. And a Vinda. Any more Shadows nonsense in that hand? But no, passes the turn over to Vince. Vince on 0. John on check.
Solid turn. Good to get rid of the Ludo.
Turn. And with 5 Shadows cards left in the 19 he has, we haven't really seen much Saurian. Just 3 Saurian cards from John. Got to expect that big turn to come at some point.
Vince going into this. Starting with Pain Reaction.
Yeah, gets rid of the Ronnie. Yeah, getting that Infernus into his discard so it can recycle. Getting some damage down on that Cincinnatus that the Maleficon is now in a position to take down. Does he have another Infernus in hand? Take John off check.
Yeah, we did fight Maleficon into the Cincinnatus.
And then the Infernus does come down. What are we going to see getting purged here? Let's have a look. He needs to take 2 Ambers. Yeah, Phalanx Strike and Tribute, great choices. And passes over. Vince now halfway to his second key. John 6 Amber, 1 short of key, and an empty board. Is this when we see that big Saurian turn? We've only seen 1 Saurian body come down from John at the minute. So he's still got these 2 Gallums, Haruspecs. Oh, but he's into Logos, Sanitation Engineer. Twin Bolt. Where's he gonna up those 2 sets of 2 damage? Takes out the Engineer. That's all she wrote, and passes it over.
Not a bad shout at the moment, because it's increasing the cost of keys, which at the moment is making it harder for John to get a key.
Yeah, agreed there. I wonder if Vince has anything else he can do to stop John getting this key, or It's always an interesting thing thinking about this point when you're a key up. Do you let your opponent have that second key instead of answering them and just rush on to get amber for your second key? Sorry, their first key. And so into Logos, Dinobot discard the break key, Kronos coming down. Buckton, you got to think he's going to reap and play the top card of the deck. Always it's a repeatable wild wormhole. Oh, Pride coming down. And here we go, because if that can stick to the board, you've got to think the Sins are coming down next turn.
Animator for Obsidian Forge. I'll reap for another amber.
Yep. And does exactly what I thought. Bursts to enough for check and says to opponent, you can have that key. Oh, but John's got the answer straight away with the Reticallum. And the Compsos coming down. And a Pterodactyl. And passes over to Vince. Do we see Vince go into Dees here? And this also is getting dangerous for John because Vince is now developing quite a board and he's got that Obsidian Forge sitting there ready to pop. So once Vince gets to that second key, it's going to be very hard to stop him unless you control the board. Fully suspect we're going to see Vince go into Dees here and we're going to see some more of those Sins. Maybe Infernus.
Some Sins.
Maybe Infernus into the Gallum. Nobody goes into Logos. Does have 3 Logos cards on board.
He's got the benefit as well of the bot booked and can just play them from the top of the deck if they're still there, so...
Yeah. Oh, here comes a diametric charge from the Buckton. What's he going to hit here? Yeah. Would think the same. Get that ward off that engineer. What do we have next in hand? And he's got the animator as well, don't forget. So he always has the option of getting one of John's artifacts onto the flank and can kill it. The hologram of both of those artifacts are a bit frustrating, but I'm not sure I'd be overly concerned with making sure they die right now. So the Retta is gone. And Kronos sacrificing himself to get rid of the Compsos. Okay, so John taking a Saurian turn, getting the stun off the Pterodactyl, another Retta down, push the key cost up to 6, and
Tribute.
Double tribute. A Pterodactyl is a big boy. He's a very big boy, but he's also very tasty with those 5 amber on. Have we seen the Ludo already? We haven't, have we? The Ludo would have been a nice thing. You've got to assume it. John would have got that down if he could.
Yeah.
I'm Vince into Dis here.
He's just having a bit of trouble keeping some ball presence with Vince just managing to destroy things quite quickly.
Yep. Here we go though with that Sins turn. In reaction to put some damage on the Pterodactyl Infernus to get rid of the Gallum. And Pride warding those Sins. That's a clue that there weren't any more Sins to come, so passing over to John. John on 2 amber. Vince on check at this point.
The warding on them is just brutal.
It really
Like
is.
the abilities that they've got, it's just mad having to deal with them.
Here comes an Edeye to take Vince off check again. Cutthroat for the Amber. Bibliophile. Again, as I say, I love that card, but it's so easy to kill and must die. Engineer reaping and discarding a Dusk Runner. Warding the Edeye. Passing it over.
Just about squeezes key cost up to 7. Means that Vince can't afford to key this turn.
But you've got to look at that Wrath and understand that it's got skirmish and poison. And you can just smash that straight into the pterodactyl, kill it, get that 5 amber, and then enrage 3 enemy creatures. Oh, this is going to be brutal. Vince is now going to be drawing 4 extra cards here from the greed effect.
Jeez. The greed's got the 2 bonus amber pips on it as well. Like that with the Maleficon would be just
2 damage,
pain.
yeah. And then the pride,
Just
I'm
the fact that
assuming.
Reaping and warding everything is just. How do you get rid of that?
Well, now look at it. Disgusting, and we've still got the Infernus to go here. You maybe run that into the pterodactyl just to put that extra damage on it. Or possibly reap. What do we see? John has used both the Gallums at this point as well.
Yeah, so he has
there we go.
pulled the Infernus.
Yep.
So we've
Sacrifice
got
it.
Pride with Reap, ward each friendly sin creature. Wrath is, like you say, the taunt, poison, skirmish, and fight each friendly sin creature. Oh, for each friendly sin creature and ratio an enemy creature.
Yeah.
Gluttony. Gets to exalt, and then you get to, like, that's really good for what he's already got in play as well. So where he's capturing throughout the game, as soon as you get the Gluttony down, you've got a whole bunch of amber available to you to just put into your pool.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard to answer this, especially with the extra card draw as well. Vince has got a massive clutch of cards here. If you don't get rid of that Gluttony, he is definitely going to reap with that and put another 5 amber into his hand. So John going into Shadows. Ronnie going to take 2 of them off him to get him off check again and get himself to check. Skeleton Key going to capture another one. Oh, but that's it. Gets himself to check, but that's all there is. Vince here really in a commanding position at this point, I think. Into Dees, reap with the Gluttony, add 5, smash the Wrath into the pterodactyl. But you've got to remember, John has got that TMTP and we have not seen that come down yet.
Yeah.
So that...
It's got to be the big concern at the moment.
And his archive with 1 in it, his draw pile at 0, it's available, it's online.
Yeah.
So Vince got to think carefully about what he does here.
Both the Ritas are in the discard pile, but like you say, where his draw pile is down to 0, we could start seeing them again soon.
Yep. We have seen both the Ronnies, right? Now we have 1 on board and 1 there, and the hit and run's gone. So the TMTP really, it's almost like an interdimensional graft at this point. But with the Skeleton Key. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. Well, Vince actually playing a humble and moving Amber off the pterodactyl. Oh, and down comes the Ludo as well. Protect his own side. suspect we're going to see Vince just edge to 6 here and leave it there. Oh, he's going to exalt that pterodactyl with the gaze. No, he exalts his own side.
With the Obsidian Forge, if you were to trigger that, with creatures being warded, does it remove the ward to count towards it?
It removes the ward, but it doesn't count towards it because they didn't leave play. So you would need
Can
to
you only
remove
trigger it once per creature?
Yeah, you can only trigger it once, so once per turn. So you'd need to get the ward off those sins for it to fire for
if
it.
you want to use them. Yeah. Or just keep building up the rest of his board, because they're always going to be good to keep in play.
Yeah. That Cornison's looking juicy, and John going into Saurian here. Good move from Vince actually with the Humble on that Pterodactyl to take it out of play for this turn.
Yeah, it removes some of the threat from the TMTP as well.
Oh, the Axiom, getting rid of the wards off these creatures, but unless he's got something else to get rid of them with, they're just going to get warded back up, I believe. Regrettable Meteor.
That's a nice way to clear the board. Get rid of all the Saurian. He's played a few more of his own, and he's managed to get rid of all the wards currently on the Sins.
Burst him to 10. Yeah, but Vince can reap with the Gluttony to get himself to 5, 6 amber, and then he can Obsidian Forge. After some more reaps, this is over. Vince has this here. So reap with the gluts, just reap out with everything to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 amber. Obsidian Forge, kill the 6. It's game over. Can you see any way I'm wrong with that, Kieran? I guess just make sure you don't reap with the pride, actually. Don't reap with the pride, because that will mess it up.
Yeah, because you don't want to ward everything.
But you can reap with everything else. But you can even fight the Wrath into the Pterodactyl if you want.
Well, the Gluttony's just put him straight up to 8.
Yep, 9. Yeah, good game. John calling it. Oh, and an Infernus as well. Wow.
Just to secure it there a bit more.
And here we go with the Obsidian Forge, as we called it at the very beginning of the game when it came down. That card being vital for Vince taking down this game. Good game, well played to both players.